What's up, guys? It's Jonathan. In this video, I really want to talk about what it means to really know your identity, what it means to really know who you are. I feel like a lot of us, we judge ourselves based on our results, based on how well we're doing in things. And that's not the case of who you are. I found out countless times in my life, when I judge myself on how I'm doing in something, how I'm doing at work, how I'm coming across, how I'm relating myself in relationships, just in overall performance, I realized that I've had so many self-esteem issues. I've been down so many times just off the fact that I feel like I should be doing more. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like my results are not matching who I think I am. And not until recently, I've really realized that my worth, my self-worth, who I am, like who I'm called to be, has nothing to do with what I do. It all has everything to do with who's my source. And for me, my source is Jesus Christ. My source is in that foundation, Him dying on the cross for me. My source, my worth is in His love. But for so many of us, the fact that we live in America, the fact that we have this Western culture of you gotta do, you gotta be driven, you gotta have ambition, you gotta have success. All of this is like we're chasing. And for what? For what? To be more unhappy? To always want more? For it to never be enough? I bet you right now, every single one of you have this vision of this big house, this perfect house, the perfect car, a great kind of kids. And even if you're watching this video, you're probably saying, yeah, but it's not perfect. I know it's not gonna be perfect. Yeah, but you have this image of perfection. You have this image, this standard that you wanna attain. Not realizing that once you get there, once you have it, it's not what you think it is. Everything we think that's gonna be great is never really what we think it is. How many times you've had plans to go somewhere, watch a football game, watch a TV show, whatever the case may be, and you had this expectations, and then you watch and you're just like, my imagination of doing it felt so much better than actually doing it. So for me, it's been realizing that something's wrong with our world. Like, there's something that's just, it doesn't click. Like, there's nothing that's really making any sense. And that's why I realized that I can't put my worth and my identity in what I do. I can't put it on performance. That's how the world wants you to think. That's how the world wants you to be. That's why we have all these books on peak performance or peak performance habits, all these things. And it's like, that doesn't say who you are. What says what you are is in your heart. What says what you are is in the person you are, your character, your relationship with God, your love of Jesus, your love of people. That's what it's really about. It's not about what you do. It's not about what you attain. It's not about success. If those things come, that's awesome. That's great. I'm not sitting here saying that I want to live broke or I want to live in poverty or that I don't want a lot of things. But what I am saying is that that's not what it's all about, because I've seen myself achieve things time and time again, and I've seen the emptiness that comes from it. I've seen how it's not what I think it is. So that means that nothing external is gonna feel what's inside, what's internally in me. Nothing external is gonna feel that. But what is gonna feel that is God's love, God's presence, loving people, showing people what it means to have a loving heart, showing what it means to care about people. That's where your identity and your worth should be. It shouldn't be in anything else. I've been reading a book recently. It's called Soul Care. And what the author talks about, his name is Rob Reimer, he talks about how every time he feels this internal battle, he feels like this emptiness, that something's not right, where he's defensive and he's taking everything personally and he's insecure. He realizes he's on a faulty foundation. What that means is you're putting your worth and your identity in meaningless things. You're putting your worth and identity in performance or your control issues, how much you can manipulate others, all these things. That's when you feel like your flesh is pulling you. That's when you feel so unhappy. But what he realizes is that he needs to get on the right foundation. He needs to be on a solid foundation. And as Christians, we know that our solid foundation is in Christ. Our solid foundation is the fact that He loves us, His grace, His love. And for a lot of people, that's not enough. A lot of people are like, I gotta achieve more. I gotta do more. I gotta push myself. I gotta do all these things. And for what? You gotta do all these things for what? To sit on the top of a mountain? You're never gonna be on top of the mountain. You're never gonna be at this level. Like, even when you think you're at this level, there's always another level that you feel like you can reach. It's like, this is what you're trying to do your entire life. So for me, it's been like, I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live that way. I don't want to chase things to the point where I feel like I gotta get more, I gotta get more, I gotta get more, I gotta get more. No, I realized that recently, success, ambition, everything my entire life that I've been chasing, it's really been the fact that I want more of God. It's really been that I'm empty inside. Like, success is not gonna fill that up. A house is not gonna fill that up. The perfect family is not gonna fill that up. The only thing that's gonna fill that up is God. That's why we're on this earth. That's why we're here. It's for nothing else. So I really want to encourage you guys with this video to know that whenever you feel defensive, whenever you're at work or you're at school and you get a test and your grade is not the best, you're at work and you're making mistakes, the reason why you feel so bad, the reason why you feel so guilty, the reason why you feel so much shame is that the world tells you that your performance is all that matters. The world tells you that your GPA is all that matters. The world tells you that how people see you is all that matters, but that's not the case. What really matters is your relationship with God. Like I mentioned, what really matters is, are you in the right place? Do you have the right heart? Are you coming from a genuine loving place? Are you caring about people? Because you see, a lot of us, we want success. We want this peak performance. For what? To have people look at us from a distance and say, wow, you're amazing, you're special. That's cool. But do you really care about the people? Do you really care about the people you're impacting? Do you really care about if someone was in tears and they're coming to you and they need your help? Do you care about that? Or do you care about speaking on stage in front of millions of people? Do you care about that one person? Because if you don't care about that one person, then everything you're doing, everything you're trying to be, everything you're trying to attain, it's empty. It means nothing. It's meaningless. But if you care about that one person like you say you do, if you want to inspire that one person, if you're doing it for that one person, then that means that your identity, your worth, who you are, is not in your performance. It's not in your job. It's not in school. It's not in what the world tries to tell you. Your identity and your worth is in how you treat people. Your identity and your worth is in your heart. And as I mentioned, being a Christian, my identity and my worth is in Jesus Christ and everything He's done in my life. So I really hope you guys understand that the reason why you constantly feel shame, the reason why you constantly feel this need to like do and do and do, it's because you're empty inside. It's because you're broken. It's because you're trying to feel something that only God can feel. And like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm as motivated as I've ever been in my life. I want great things. I want to do so much. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to compromise it to come from a place of needing for people to validate me, needing to feel special, needing to matter in a sense to people who are just going to move on to the next person. So it's not about that. It's about your love for God. It's about your love for Christ. It's about how you're treating other people. And at the end of the day, when you come from that place, you start to feel more whole. You start to feel more complete. You start to really receive some healing in your life that you really need. So that's what I want for my channel. I don't want it to just be success tips or all those kind of things. I want to keep it real. And I have nothing against anybody who does those kind of things. I just really want you guys to understand that the reason why you're empty inside, the reason why you're constantly chasing, the reason why enough is never enough is because you're trying to attain yourself in something that's always going to be empty, something that's never going to be long lasting. So I want you to remember that. I want you to get that clear in your head that the only thing that's going to fulfill you is God's love and God's presence and the love of people. That's the only thing that's going to fill you. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. Take care, guys, and God bless.